This is A-level Math Paper 1 for year 2013. We look at question 3. You're given a diagram where OAB is a sector of a circle with center 0 and radius 8 centimeters. So we are looking at a radius of 8 centimeters. That gives you the radius of 8. Angle BOA is alpha radians. So you have an alpha radian as an angle. And OAC is a semicircle with a diameter OA. So this 8 centimeter is the diameter of a semicircle. In fact, the radius of this semicircle is 4. Part 1, you are asked to find alpha in terms of pi. You are given that the area of the semicircle OAC is twice. That means you have 2 times the area of the sector OAB. So you are given that the area of OAC, this is 2 times the area of the sector OAB. Now, area OAC, this is just a semicircle. For a circle, the area of a circle is given by pi r squared. Since this semicircle is half a circle, then the area of OAC is half pi r squared. Now, this is 2 times the area of the sector OAB. So if you're looking at the sector OAB, the radius is equal to 8, but never mind about that. The area of a circle is always given by pi r squared. But since this is a sector of a circle with a central angle of alpha, then to find the area of this sector, you take the area of a circle and multiply by a factor. This is alpha. You have a central angle of alpha. For a full circle, the central angle is given by 2 pi. So this gives you a ratio here, and pi r squared times alpha over 2 pi. That gives you the area of the sector of a circle. Now, on the left side, you have OAC, so that gives you half pi r squared. But for this circle, this semicircle OAC, the diameter is 8, so the radius is given by 4. And for this part here, the radius is 8 now for OAB, which is the sector of a circle. So that would give you the square of 8, and then you have alpha over 2 pi. Okay, let's simplify this. This will give you 16. 16 over 2, you have 8 pi on the left side. And on the right side, you have a pi and a pi which can be cancelled off. A 2 and a 2 that can be cancelled off as well. On the right side here, you are left with 64 alpha. That gives you 64 alpha. You need to find alpha in terms of pi. To isolate alpha, you divide both sides by 64. Therefore, alpha is given by 8 pi over 64. So alpha is pi over 8. That would give you the answer for part 1. For part 2, the second part, you need to find the perimeter of the complete figure. To find the perimeter of the complete figure, you look at the length OB. So you have OB here, and you need to look at the length of the sector of a circle, which is AB. And finally, you have the perimeter of ACO. So you look at the length of ACO. This gives you the perimeter of the complete figure. Now OB is obviously given by 8 here, and AB is the circumference of a sector of a circle. The circumference of a circle is given by 2 pi r. So for this case, you actually have 2 pi r, and then you multiply by alpha over 2 pi. So you have alpha over 2 pi here. That will give you the ratio of the central angle. ACO is the circumference of half a circle. That is given by pi r. So the perimeter you have 8 plus, and then over here, you can actually cancel off the 2 and the pi. So you have r and alpha here. So r here is given by 8. Since the radius is 8, so you have 8, and alpha is given by pi over 8 from the first part. So you have pi over 8, and then pi r, this r here, the radius of the semicircle is given by 4. So you have 4 pi. Then in short, you have 8 plus 5 pi centimeter as the perimeter of the complete diagram. That is for question 3. Let's look at question 4. For question 4, the third term of a geometric progression, we are looking at a GP here. This is a geometric progression, is negative 108. So if you say that the third term is negative 108, the third term is negative 108. So the third term is given by AR squared for a geometric progression, and this is negative 108. The sixth term is 32. Sixth term is 32. The sixth term is given by AR to the 5, and that equals 32. This gives you two equations, 1 and 2. In order to find the common ratio, you divide equation number 2 by equation number 1. So that AR to the 5 over AR squared, this is given by 32 over negative 108. The A cancels off, so you have R to the 5 over R squared. That gives you R cubed. And R cubed, when you simplify the right side, you have negative 8 over 27. Take cube roots on both sides, and R here is negative 2/3. That gives you the common ratio. Okay, now you have the common ratio here. That is for part 1. For part 2, you are asked to find the first term. First term is the value of A. You either use equation number 1 or equation number 2. I would use equation number 1. There's no point finding R to the 5 here. It's just a waste of time. You have AR squared. R is minus 2/3 here, square, and this is negative 108. So that you have 4 over 9A equals negative 108, and A is now negative 243. That gives you the answer for part 2. Okay, now that is for part 2. You have the first term already. For the third part, you need to find the sum to infinity. the sum to infinity is a over 1 minus r, under the condition that the absolute value of r must be less than 1. Otherwise, the series diverges and you cannot find the sum to infinity. So absolute value of r must be less than 1. Now, absolute value of r in this case is the absolute value of 2/3, which is 2/3, which is less than 1. So you can find the sum to infinity. A is minus 243 from part 2, and then you have 1 minus negative 2/3 here. So that gives you negative 243 over 1 plus 2/3. That gives you 5 over 3. And then the sum to infinity is given by 729 over 5. That gives you the answer for the third part.